The armored Avenger, Iron Man, Tony Stark, genius billionaire. He built a suit, it made him Iron Man. Iron Man is strong, he's very smart, he has many weapons, he can fly, he can shoot lasers, he's a hero. Iron Man is a human, but his suit makes him powerful. He uses technology, he fights for justice, he protects the world. He's a symbol of hope. The Man of Steel, Superman. Superman came from Krypton. It is a distant planet. He is an alien. He has superpowers. He is strong. He can fly. He has heat vision. He is a symbol of hope. Superman is a true hero. He always fights for what is right. He protects the innocent. He is an inspiration to all. He is known as Superman. A challenge issued, Seeds of the Showdown. The world always wondered, who is stronger, Iron Man or Superman? It was a question on everyone's mind. Then it happened. Lex Luthor, Superman's enemy, challenged Iron Man. He tricked Iron Man. He made him think Superman was a threat. Iron Man, believing he was doing the right thing, challenged Superman. The world held its breath. The ultimate showdown was about to begin. Preparations of Titan's Iron Man's strategy. Iron Man knew Superman was strong. He needed a plan. This wasn't just any plan. It had to be meticulous, detailed, and foolproof. Iron Man, or Tony Stark, was no stranger to challenges, but this was different. Superman's strength was legendary, and Tony knew he had to bring his A-game. He went to his lab, a place where science fiction met reality. The lab was filled with cutting-edge technology, robots, and machinery that most people could only dream of. Tony Stark was in his element here, surrounded by the tools that made him Iron Man. He knew that to face Superman, he needed more than just his usual suit. He needed something extraordinary. He worked day and night, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. He upgraded his suit, adding layers of armor and integrating new technologies. He made it stronger, more resilient, and capable of withstanding immense pressure. He added new weapons, each designed with a specific purpose in mind. From energy blasters to advanced missile systems, every addition was a calculated move in his strategy. He was ready for Superman, or at least as ready as he could be. The suit was a marvel of engineering, a testament to Tony Stark's genius. It wasn't just about brute strength. It was about precision, strategy, and innovation. Tony knew that facing Superman would be the fight of his life, but he was prepared to give it everything he had. Iron Man knew he had to be smart. He spent hours analyzing data, studying Superman's strengths and weaknesses. He used holographic displays to simulate different battle scenarios, each one more challenging than the last. He knew that brute force alone wouldn't be enough. He had to outthink Superman, to anticipate his moves and counter them with precision. He couldn't match Superman's strength, but he didn't need to. Tony Stark was a genius, a master strategist. He knew that his mind was his greatest weapon. He contemplated every possible outcome, every potential risk. He faced the challenge head-on with an intense expression that showed his determination. This was more than just a battle. It was a test of his intellect and ingenuity. He had to outthink him. Tony Stark's mind was a whirlwind of ideas and strategies. He devised a plan, one that took into account every variable. He surrounded himself with advanced technology, using it to create blueprints and models. Each detail was meticulously planned, each step carefully considered. This was a battle of wits as much as it was a battle of strength. He had to use his technology. Tony Stark's greatest advantage was his access to futuristic technology. He used advanced gadgets, each one designed to give him an edge. From energy shields to cloaking devices, every piece of technology was a part of his strategy. He manipulated holographic screens, running simulations and testing different approaches. This was a high-tech chess game, and Tony was determined to win. He had to be prepared. Tony Stark double-checked his suit, ensuring that every system was functioning perfectly. He tested his defensive weapons, making sure they were ready for action. He stood in a ready stance, his mind focused and his body prepared. This was it, the moment he had been preparing for. He knew that he couldn't afford any mistakes. He was ready for the fight of his life. In full armor, Iron Man looked every bit the hero he was. With a determined look on his face, he took off into the sky, ready to face Superman. This was more than just a battle. It was a clash of titans, a test of strength, strategy, and willpower. Iron Man was ready, and he was determined to emerge victorious. Section 5. Preparations of Titan's Superman's approach. Superman heard the challenge. He was surprised. The message was clear and direct, yet it left him puzzled. Iron Man, a fellow hero, had issued a challenge. This was unexpected. Superman, known for his calm demeanor and rational thinking, couldn't fathom why Iron Man would want to fight him. They had always been on the same side, fighting for justice and peace. The challenge seemed out of character for Iron Man, who was usually logical and strategic. He didn't understand. Why would Iron Man fight him? Was there a misunderstanding? Superman pondered over the possible reasons. Could it be a test, or perhaps a trap set by a common enemy? The more he thought about it, the more questions arose. He knew Iron Man was a man of science and reason. There had to be an explanation. Superman decided that the best course of action was to confront Iron Man directly and seek answers. He decided to talk to Iron Man. He wanted to reason with him. Superman believed in dialogue and understanding. He hoped that by talking to Iron Man, they could clear up any misunderstandings. As he flew towards Iron Man's location, he thought about their past collaborations. They had always worked well together, combining their strengths to overcome great challenges. Superman was confident that they could resolve this issue through conversation. He hoped to avoid a fight. Superman knew Iron Man was powerful. He respected Iron Man's intellect and technological prowess. A battle between them could cause immense destruction and harm. Superman's primary goal was to protect people and maintain peace. He didn't want to engage in a fight that could endanger innocent lives. He considered various ways to approach the conversation, hoping to find the right words to de-escalate the situation. But he didn't want to fight him. He believed in peace. Superman had always been a symbol of hope and peace. He believed that conflicts could be resolved through understanding and cooperation. Fighting Iron Man was the last thing he wanted. He was determined to find a peaceful solution. As he flew, he thought about the values they both stood for and how important it was to uphold them. He hoped they could find a solution. He flew to meet Iron Man. The cityscape below him was a reminder of what they were fighting to protect. Superman's resolve strengthened as he approached Iron Man's location. He was ready to have an open and honest conversation. He believed that by working together they could overcome any challenge. The thought of a peaceful resolution gave him hope. He hoped to talk sense into him. Superman landed gracefully and approached Iron Man with a calm and composed demeanor. He greeted Iron Man and expressed his confusion about the challenge. He spoke earnestly, hoping to understand Iron Man's perspective. Superman emphasized the importance of their alliance and the need to work together. He hoped that through this conversation they could find common ground and avoid a conflict. Superman's approach was one of diplomacy and reason, reflecting his unwavering commitment to peace. Section 6, Clash of the Titans. The battle begins. The two heroes met. They were in the desert. The sun blazed down, casting long shadows on the arid ground. The air was thick with tension, as if the very earth knew that a monumental clash was about to unfold. The wind howled, carrying with it the whispers of ancient battles fought on this very land. The stage was set for an epic confrontation, one that would be remembered for ages to come. Iron Man attacked first. He shot his repulsor rays. Superman dodged them. The beams of energy cut through the air, leaving trails of light in their wake. Iron Man's eyes were focused, his mind calculating every possible move. He knew he was up against one of the most powerful beings in the universe, and he couldn't afford to make a single mistake. Superman, with his superhuman reflexes, moved with a grace that belied his immense power. Each dodge was a testament to his years of training and experience. He flew towards Iron Man. He punched him. Iron Man went flying. The battle raged. The force of Superman's punch sent shockwaves through the desert, causing the ground to tremble. Iron Man's armor absorbed most of the impact, but the sheer power behind the blow was undeniable. As he regained his balance, Iron Man's mind raced, formulating a new strategy. The sky above was filled with the sounds of their battle, a symphony of clashing titans. Each move, each counter was a dance of power and precision. Iron Man used all his weapons. Missiles, lasers, repulsor blasts. He unleashed a barrage of attacks, each one more devastating than the last. The desert was illuminated by the flashes of his weapons, turning the night into day. Superman, ever the paragon of virtue, stood his ground, his eyes glowing with determination. He knew that Iron Man was giving it his all, and he respected him for it. But he also knew that he couldn't let his guard down, not even for a second. Superman dodged them all. He was too fast. He used his heat vision. The beams of intense heat shot from his eyes, targeting Iron Man's armor. The metal began to glow, the intense heat causing it to warp and melt. Iron Man's systems were pushed to their limits, alarms blaring in his helmet. He could feel the heat even through his advanced suit, but he didn't back down. He couldn't. This was a battle for the ages, and he was determined to see it through to the end. Iron Man's armor began to melt. Iron Man was in trouble. The once impenetrable suit was now a liability, its systems failing one by one. But Tony Stark was nothing if not resourceful. With a quick command, he activated his emergency protocols, deploying a new layer of armor over the damaged sections. The battle was far from over. Superman, seeing the resilience of his opponent, couldn't help but feel a sense of admiration. This was a true test of their abilities. A clash of titans that would be remembered for generations. The desert, once silent and still, was now a battleground, echoing with the sounds of their epic struggle. Section 7. A world in chaos, the fallout. The battle was fierce. It caused destruction. Buildings crumbled. The ground shook. People were scared. The world watched in horror. The heroes didn't stop. They were too focused on fighting. They didn't see the damage they caused. The world was changing. The fight was having a devastating impact. The future looked bleak. Section 8, and the victor is... The battle raged on. Iron Man was outmatched. Superman was too strong. He landed a final blow. Iron Man's suit was destroyed. He lay defeated. Superman had won. But he didn't feel like a winner. He had heard Iron Man. It caused destruction. He knew this wasn't the answer. He hoped to find a better way. Section 9. The real heroes, a lasting message. Superman helped Iron Man. He took him to safety. He realized they had been tricked. Lex Luthor had manipulated them. They had been fighting for nothing. Superman and Iron Man learned a valuable lesson. They learned that fighting wasn't always the answer. They needed to work together. They needed to find a better way. They vowed to be better heroes. They vowed to protect the world together.